Zana Vitrova, 16 years old. Ava Balova, 15 years old. Liana Frankolova, 13 years old. Perished at Auschwitz. Alfred Weiskamp, 16 years old. Hansa Kosek, 16 years old. Perished at Auschwitz, January 21st, 1939.
My name is Raja. I was born in Prague. Father, mother, Pavel, Irka, Sedenka, Hansa, Irina. They are all gone, and I'm alone. But that is not important. Only one thing is important. That I'm a Jew, and that I survived. Terezin was a fortress built by Emperor Joseph II of Austria, about 60 kilometers from Prague. It slept quietly in its green valley under blue skies until...
March 5th, 1939, German Wehrmacht enters Prague. December 1st, 1939, Jewish children excluded from state elementary schools. June 14, 1940, Auschwitz concentration camp set up. September 27, 1941, Reinhard Heydrich orders mass deportation of Jews and establishes Terezin as a Jewish ghetto. October 16, 1941, first transports leave Prague for Terezin. Among them were children.
You must go along now to the bathhouse, dear. What is your name? I'm Irina Senkova. I'm a teacher here in Terezin. You'll be coming to school with us, won't you? Now you are not alone. And you must not be afraid either. Now that you know my name, you must tell me yours. How can we be friends? I won't know what to call you. Raja and Lenderova. Come, Raja and Lenderova. Let me tell you about our school. There's so much you can do here at school. You'll be coming here tomorrow, perhaps. We have many children here. We have few books, but we have many songs. Every day, if you wish, you may draw and paint. Here, see? Each of the children have drawn their own spring picture. Would you like to paint? I can get some paper for you, and then tomorrow we may begin. See, we save all the paper we can find. Forms, wrapping paper, and some of the children bring their own. And when there's enough, the children draw and paint. Would you like to choose a piece of your own, Raja? My name is Raja. Slowly, I began to heal. I and hundreds of other children who passed through Irina Senkova's school. It was months before I could say anything other than my name is Raja, but one day, I suddenly said another name, Irina. Then I thought I was healed. I could paint and draw and speak again. I could tell Irina the things I was remembering. I was no longer afraid to remember.
Raja, cover the bread and close the door to the kitchen. The candles went out.
Papa is coming up the street. Aunt Vera is with them. I can see them from the window.
Raja, you must come away from the back window. Do you hear?
She's gonna get us all in trouble.
She'll be careful. Raja, come. It's time to light the Sabbath.
Without Papa, but he's coming.
Then he will be here. Come away from the window. Now. Papa, at last.
All right, Mama. All right. I'm late,
I
but...
saw you from the window, so you weren't really late, Papa.
Of course not. As long as I'm in sight, I'm not really late. Besides, I was delayed by your Aunt Vera.
I knew I'd be blamed for it all. It's true this time, Anna. I kept him waiting. You'll understand.
Of course, you would protect her.
Now, Anna, I'm here.
Pavel, you must come away from the back window. You know that.
Nazis. So close you can see the damn swastikas on the windows.
Pavel, the Sabbath.
It's Sabbath Eve. The Nazis about to join us.
Pavel, if you aren't careful, if we aren't careful...
They're gone now.
Be careful. We must all be careful. Tonight the planes, tomorrow tanks.
Tomorrow? Yosef, what do you mean?
Mama, Pavel, all of you. Mama, today, Today I lost my place.
Yosef, this can't be true.
We all knew it had to come.
But you were promised.
Promises? What did they mean? I must report to Rick at Little Maris. They're building a station.
But, Papa, you're not a carpenter, you're a teacher.
Hush, Raja. Let your father explain.
Imagine, all of us at the school. All of us.
Building a station?
Today they came to the school. We were given 1 hour to clear away. Books, papers, everything. 1 hour after all those years.
And the school?
Anna, wait. There's still more.
Mama, it may be that we'll have to move. It may be that we must do so. The landlord is German and we are
Jews!
Pavel, try to have patience.
We are Jews. They're relocating the boundaries, 12 blocks on either side. And we must, all of us, move into the area of the old ghetto.
But we thought the council was going to appeal. Why does the council sit waiting while the whole Nazi army walks in? And the rest of them. They didn't interfere. No one protested without a word. What cowards!
Pavel!
No wonder the star is yellow.
You go too far! Too far!
Papa, I'm sorry,
But you do not understand. You cannot!
I understand. I have this to remind me.
What is this talk? The star cannot destroy us, but I can tell you what
The
can.
boy doesn't know what he's saying.
I can tell you what can kill us. To starve. No white bread, meat, eggs, cheese, fish, poultry,
Mama,
fruit,
please.
none of it. For a Jew, this will destroy us. To be denied the necessities of life.
I know, Mom.
And for your father, no tobacco, no cigars, no cigarettes, no beer. All the low pleasures just taken away.
I know that, Mama.
And the big ones too. The school, the synagogue. This will destroy us.
Mama, for God's
No,
sake.
I am not yet finished with being a Jew. It means for all of us, separation. And the fear of separation. Planes today, tanks tomorrow, and always. The guards, the Nazis, you and your foolish bravado. And that, may we all be lost. All lost.
I see what's going on. But just endure. It seems so
Weak. To you it's weak, but think. The Nazis want us to work for them. If we must work, we must eat. There's that chance for life.
Well, I don't call this living.
But while we live, we can try to stay together, and perhaps later.
Yes. If they bid us work, then we may eat and we may survive together. This war, it cannot last much longer.
All right, Papa.
All right? All right. So no more shouting and no more jokes on Nazi guards. In a few months, we'll be back in our flat. Huber's promised to keep the furniture for us. He does not wish us harm. It will be here when we come back.
Yes, Papa.
All right. You and Ergo will be married. As we planned, you will see. I promise.
Promises.
You will see. Come now, Mama. The lights.
Blessed art thou, O
The tanks
Lord
and
our
guards,
God,
they're in the street.
King of the universe, who had held
They're
us
starting to
high,
cordon off the
His
street.
commandments and
They'll be
commanded
here
us
soon.
to kindle the Sabbath lights.
The first transports for Terezin left Prague the next day. We waited our turn and hoped. Families moved in together. We moved in with Urka's family and then moved again. Each week, a new decree shrank our ghetto and our lives. Even then, we couldn't really believe it all. It was incredible. Our friends lined the streets and watched us leave 5,000 Jews. Erica Schlager called to me.
Raja, where are you going? Come with me to the cinema.
I can't, Erica. We have to go to the municipal building.
But why?
I don't know.
Didn't they say why?
They say we have to go. I ran ahead to join my family. That was the day we left home.
Jews! Achtung! Keep moving! Then to the right! We're gonna jump to the left! Now! Now!
Don't be afraid, we're only going on a train. Where's Father? What happened to Father? I can't quiet now, we must wait. It's been so long. I'm thirsty.
I'm hungry. Please, is there any bread?
Wait just a little while. And we'll have plenty of food. When will he be there? Will Father be there? Patient,
Where are we going now? What are they doing in that room?
we'll see. We must wait.
Are we going to work? They told us we'd work together. They told me to remember this number, always.
Yes, you must remember. At roll call, when they asked for your number, you must remember and answer promptly. They laughed and told us we were marked, like pigs. They said it'll never go away.
Why would they call us sheep? Only because he's for
Wait,
us.
now, don't be afraid. Remember, you are not alone. Whatever you see or hear, whatever is done, remember we are together. And then you will not be afraid. heard trains arrive and leave, the screaming sirens, the tread of heavy feet in the dark. I sat in Irina Sunkova's classroom to paint and write the story of those days. I never saw another butterfly. The very last, so richly, brightly, dazzling yellow. Perhaps if the sun's tears sing against a white stone, such a yellow is carried lightly way up high. It went away, I'm sure, because it wished to kiss the world goodbye. For 7 weeks I've lived here, penned up inside this ghetto. But I found my people here. The dandelions call to me and the white chestnut candles in the court. Only, I never saw another butterfly. That butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live here in the ghetto.
It's been weeks since I came to this ghetto. I did not know that such a thing could happen to me. When I go home, I'm going to eat only white bread.
When I go home, I'm going to make my bed every day clean.
When I go home, I'm gonna drink hot chocolate in the winter, lots of it.
When I go home, I'm going to have pretty white curtains. Rugs, too.
I'm going to play ball in the courtyard when I go home and shout if I want to.
I'm going to sit very quietly and read storybooks when I go home. All night, maybe.
I'm gonna play the piano when I go home, and everyone will sing, and we won't care how noisy we are.
When I go home, I've lived in the ghetto for more than a year. Here, in Terracin, in the Black Town. And when I remember my old home so dear, I can love it more than I did, somehow. Oh, home. Why did they ever tear me away? Here, the weak die easy as a feather, and when they die forever. I'd like to go back home again. It makes me think of sweet spring flowers. When I used to live at home, it never seemed so dear and fair.
In Terezin in the so-called park, a queer old granddad sits. Somewhere in the so-called park, there's a beard down his lap, and on his head, a little cap. Hard crusty crumbles in his gums. He's only got one single tooth. Instead of soft rolls, lentil soup. Poor old graybeard.
May I call you grandfather? You have no little girl, and I have no grandpa. Tuesday, March 16th, 1943. Today, I went to visit my uncle in the Sudeten barracks. There, I saw the guards throw potato peelings, and people threw themselves on the little piles and fought for them.
Tuesday, April 6th, 1943. Tomorrow, the SS men are coming, and no children can go out on the streets. Daddy won't know this, and I'll die of hunger by evening. Wednesday, April 7th, 1943. I missed Daddy yesterday, but I didn't cry. The other children couldn't see their parents either.
We aren't allowed to go out of the barracks without a pass, and children don't get a pass. They say this can last a week or even months, like a bird in a cage.
It's terrible here now. There's a great deal of tension among the older children. They are going to send transports to a new ghetto, into the unknown. And 1,500 children will arrive here tonight from Poland. We are making toys, little bags, and nets for them.
They look awful. You can't tell how old they are. They all have old faces and tiny bodies. They're all bare-legged, and only a very few have shoes. They return from the reception center with their heads shaved. They have lice, and they have such frightened eyes.
The poor thing stands there vainly. Vainly he strains his voice. Perhaps he'll die. Then can you say, how beautiful is the world today?
We got used to standing in line at 7 o'clock in the morning, at 12 noon, and again at 7 o'clock in the evening. We stood in a long line with a plate in our hand as they gave us little warmed up water with a salty or coffee flavor.
We got used to sleeping without a bed, to saluting to every uniform, to walking on the sidewalks, to not walking on the sidewalks. We got used to undeserved slaps, blows, and executions. We got used to seeing people die in their own excrement, seeing piles of coffins full of bodies, and to seeing the sick miss dirt and filth, and to seeing the helpless doctors.
We got used to it that from time to time, 1,000 unhappy souls would come here, and that from time to time, another 1,000 happy souls would go away.
One by one, the transports came. Father, Mother, Aunt Vera, they went. Pavel and Urka, they went. Everyone I had known and loved in Prague. There was no one who could remember me before I had come here as a child of 12, but there were many left standing at the trains. As the transport started up, the cars crowded, boarded, and sealed. Then we turned and found each other.
Cheery. They said they wouldn't take him. He was a plumber, an electrician, so clever. They said they wouldn't take him.
Everyone goes. Jerry, was he your friend?
He was my brother.
Oh, you're Hansa Kosek. I've heard about you. My name is Raja Inglendarova. My brother Pavel and Urka.
I know. They just got married, and now, what's the good of that?
They're still together.
What's the good of that?
Together, we'll not be afraid. That's the good.
You are afraid.
What if I am? You're laughing at me. You think I'm a coward.
No, I'm laughing because you're a girl and you don't know the first thing about anything.
Well, it's all easy for you. I've heard how you get by the guards. It's easy for a boy.
It isn't that easy. My father was beaten and left for the dead before my eyes. I saw it. I couldn't move. I was so afraid. But I didn't run. I never understood until my father, dying, said, "You're a good boy, Hansa. You are afraid, but you are not a coward."
I'm sorry. Well, it's late. I have to go.
Wait, where are you going?
Number 25. Where do you live?
House number 2, on the other side near the wall.
There's 30 kids in my group, most of us from Prague. Irina, she's in charge of the whole compound, and she lives with us.
We live alone. We elect our own leader, and we have meetings, secret ones, where we talk and plan, and we're even working on something right now.
For the boys' home?
Well, not just for the boys' home. We're going to have a newspaper and report all the news in camp.
So, do you have a printing press?
No, we don't need that. It's not that kind of paper. We just, I don't know, make copies of the news and hang them around inside the barracks. It's my idea.
Will you put one in my home?
Yeah, I suppose I could. I never really thought about it.
I'd
but
copy it over. I could do that.
I'd have to talk about it with the rest, but yeah, I suppose it's a good idea. Well, I've got to get going now. We're going to have a meeting about that paper. And you can come too if you want.
And so, our newspaper, Bedham, was born, and lived for 3 years and helped us live. We waited to read each copy posted in the barracks, and when, for safety, it was read aloud, no one was missing. It was an invisible line of communication between the houses, so that even across the dark yards and crowded barracks, the youth of Terezin grew up together.
Raja?
Yes? Is the sweet Svenim ready?
Here it is.
I'll get started.
Wait, we've talked about it in our meetings. We could run some of the poems from your home when there's room.
Good. Irina will be glad of that. She said it might happen, and the smaller kids got all excited.
There won't be room for too many.
I'll tell her. I'll see you.
Wait. I saw you in the field today. Of course, I couldn't say anything.
I know. I saw you across the road.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we could plan a way to meet there sometime. In case there are messages or anything.
It wouldn't really be safe. The guards are everywhere.
But we meet here at night.
Because they think we're inside the barracks.
I'm not afraid. Are you?
No. Yes. I guess I am. They beat you.
It wouldn't be the first time. I always get up again.
But
Someday. Maybe I won't, I suppose. What difference does it make?
Don't talk like that. I'll go if you do.
Wait, I'm only teasing.
It would be lonesome without you. I mean, the kids need you, and the paper. Irina says you're the only one she can trust to bury the drawings and poems.
Others would do
It
that.
would be hard, though. These past few months, we've been such good friends, and I would miss you, too.
I meant to say that first.
I know. Well, good night.
Good night. Raja, I've got some flowers for you.
Hamza, if you get caught...
You know that square in front of the tower?
Prisoners aren't allowed
I
there.
know, but they can't stop us from looking at it. Look, from here, see the flowers near the corner? And the butterflies?
I see them.
Well, I'm giving them to you. And every time you
I'll
pass...
say, they're mine. Hansa gave them to me. All the flowers and all the butterflies. Thank you. Hansa, Irina gave me a book of poetry. I left it for you at the end of the field near the shed. There's one special poem that I want you to read.
I found it, and read it, and left one for you. Look for it. Look, Raja, I'm not gonna be here for a few days.
Why? Where are you going?
Don't take any chances coming to meet me, I mean.
Hansa, what is it?
Nothing. Special detail to build something outside the fortifications. They're picking the strongest. I'll be chosen.
But what if something happens?
There'll be a chance for extra food.
I don't care about extra food, Hansa. I'm afraid.
Don't worry. They want the job done. It's some kind of walled courtyard. Nothing much can happen. Well, I've got to go.
Goodbye, then.
Wait, Raja.
Goodbye. I'll be waiting. Waiting. Please come back. Waiting days are long days. You learn to stop thinking of tomorrow and to keep alive today. But part of me would always be waiting. Monday, September 6th, 1943. I got up at 6 to see Zdenka. When I was going up to the barracks, the last people were just going through the gates and getting on the train. Everything was boarded up all around, so no one could get to them and they could not run away. I jumped over and ran up to the last people getting on. I saw the train pulling away, and in one of the cars, Zdenka was riding. Where did Zdenka go?
To transport to the east.
Why?
Toward resettlement to
Auschwitz.
Auschwitz?
She will not come back. Jerry told us, and he knows. You die if you go to Auschwitz.
Raja.
It's true, I know. You die. And the ovens and the chimneys. When you die, you burn to ashes.
We do not know that this is true.
I know. And you know too. And you think because children we don't know.
What have you heard? Where?
Jerry told us. He came from Warsaw. You die if you go to Auschwitz. No one returns. Every day, the trains go, and no one returns. Jerry was there. He escaped. He told us. How is it that you do not know?
I've heard the same talk. We all have. It can't be true. Think, Raja, such things can't be true.
But they are. He told us. We are going to die.
Raja, wait. You were only afraid. Wait.
Sabrina, I want to go home. I hate this place and everything.
Everything?
Yes. What's the use of anything if you're going to die? Zdenka, last night we shared our bread and sang together, and now there's nothing left.
I know.
And Ava and Miriam
I miss them
and
too.
Mariana and Gabriella.
I know.
We promised.
They were
we'd be
friends.
together
You love them.
next year in
Do
Rome.
not forget how you worked together in this very room. And the poems and the songs. Ava, Zuliana, and Gabriella.
There's nothing left.
Their pictures, see?
You'll burn these too.
Raja, listen to me. You are no longer a child. This minute, you are no longer a child. And so I tell you, I have a child. She's 9 years old. And she was torn away from my arms and thrown from a train by an angered guard. I tried to throw myself after her, but I got dragged back into the car. I wanted to die until I came to Terezin and found thousands of children waiting for me. And then I knew I must not die. Do you understand? Now you are no longer a child. And so I tell you, I have a child. And she lives whenever I comfort another child or dry her tears.
Bencher Kaufman, 12 years old. Josef Polak, 14 years old. Dina Belaventova, 14 years old. Perished at Auschwitz. Ava Steinova, 13 years old. Hanna Lusova, 15 years old. Perished at Auschwitz. Hansa Kosev.
Hansa?
Raja, don't hurt me,
Hansa,
don't.
where are you?
No, Raja, don't. Just please, just listen. I have a number in this transport.
No!
No, Raja, just please, just listen. I have a number and I must report.
No!
But the news is good.
What do you mean?
The war is coming to an end.
Hansa, no.
Things are going bad for the Nazis. Something will happen before long. Raja, please, listen.
Hansa, I cannot. I'm coming with you.
You can't. It's too late. You must wait here.
I can't.
No, you must wait. For me.
Hansa, I can't live waiting. Please, where are you? I have to see you.
I am with you. Wherever you are. I have something. I never told you about the poem. I wrote one too for the contest, remember?
You never told me.
It was supposed to be about a memory, only mine was about you.
You never handed it in.
I'll leave it here, under the post near the corner. Read it sometime, but don't laugh. You laughed once at that other poem, remember?
I remember.
When you read this,
I won't laugh. I won't, I promise. Hansa.
Don't come out here. The guards, just stay there. Stay there and wait. Goodbye.
Hansa. Hansa. Goodbye. Memory. lost and gone. Tell about the golden grail, and bid the swallow bring her back to me. Fly
Fly close to her
and
and
ask her soft and low
if she thinks of me sometimes with love. If she is well, ask too before you go
if
if I am still her dearest, precious dove. And hurry back. Don't lose your way, so I can think of other things. But you are too lovely, perhaps, to stay. I loved you once. Goodbye, my love.
Goodbye. That was the motto of Terracin. It should have been written over the entrance instead of that lie that greeted newcomers. Work makes us free. It was goodbye, not work, that set us free. It was the only thing we knew would have never changed. Goodbye. 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 It freed us all. What was there to fear when you had said goodbye to everyone you'd ever met?
Raja and Lenderova. You know by now that my number 102866 was called. When you come to school today, you will see that I have gone. I have wrapped up the last of the pictures and poems in my shawl. See that these are buried with the rest somewhere. And remember what they mean to all of us. I have nothing else to give you but this, what you and all the children have made of Terezin. All the fields, flowers, and all the butterflies. Bye.
Irina Sinkova perished at Auschwitz, January 28, 1945. And I've survived. Father, mother, Pavel, Urka, Zdenka, Hansa, Irina, too, in the end, perished at Auschwitz. And I, Raja and Glendarova, after the liberation, returned to Prague, alone. Alone.
I never understood until my father, dying, said, "You're a good boy, Hansa. You are afraid, but you are not a coward."
Somehow, one of us is sure to survive. One of us will teach the children to sing again, to write on paper with a pencil, to do sums and draw. I have nothing else to give you but this. The fields, flowers, and all the butterflies.
For 7 weeks I've lived here.
Nazis.
End up inside this ghetto.
So
And I
close
found
to
my
the
children.
SWAT team will
Let's
return.
not be afraid.
I miss Daddy.
Somehow we will
Those
return.
foolish children are coming.
Daddy won't
Today,
know.
toys.
No,
Daddy.
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 Tomorrow.
All
I
night,
could see
always.
someone before she left.
My name is Raja. I am a Jew. And I survived terrorism. Not alone. And not afraid.